WCBS 880 News.
WCBS News Time 10:43. An historic New York youth group is calling on lawmakers to save them from eviction from the Park Avenue Armory on the Upper East Side. This is the Knickerbocker Greys, founded as a youth cadet corps in 1881, facing eviction from the conservancy that oversees the armory. Joining us live is retired Army Colonel Tom Pike, who was a cadet with the Knickerbocker Greys, whose twin 10-year-old daughters also cadets right now. Colonel, good to have you here. I understand they're threatening to evict over renovations. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm disappointed and a bit perplexed. As you mentioned, the Greys was founded in 1881. That's over 140 years ago. And the Greys has been in the Park Avenue Armory since 1902, which is over 120 years ago. So it really is the home for this unique and historic organization that has about 800 square feet of space in a building of over 200,000 square feet. So I'm pretty disappointed and want to preserve this organization inside the Armory.
Colonel, why would you say the Armory is the best space? Is it because it is a large space?
There are probably several answers to that. First is our historic connection that, again, goes back 120 years. And anyone who's been in this beautiful landmark building will be familiar with the beautiful rooms, one of which is a Tiffany room, one of the largest indoor tennis courts, I think, in the United States. It's really an historic building, and it's also our home. When I was a cadet, I had the great pleasure of appreciating the interior design and the architecture of this great and unique building on 66th Street. So that's the first part. And anyone who walks indoors will see to the right is a plaque listing the names of the cadets over time who have served in the military and many who have died in World War I and World War II. And we're a part of that building. We're in those walls, and you can see those plaques when you walk into the building to look at that, and right in the foyer. So we are very much a part of the spirit of this building, the history of this building, and I think the charter of the Conservancy was to maintain the traditions and the history of this landmark building, and we're a part of that.
Have you heard of anywhere that the Knickerbockers might go instead?
So that has been discussions, but really not anything that's substantive. We draw cadets from boys and girls with different temperaments, talents, and convictions, all walks of life, from the 5 boroughs of New York City. So having this armory that's centrally located for decades has been a central point for these children to be able to come in and have their drill once a week.
Have you had any luck in getting lawmakers to step in? From what I read, it looks like you're approaching lawmakers at the city and state level.
That's right. And the answer to that is yes. It's really enheartening to me. We do have a bill in Albany right now that's sponsored by Senator Liz Kruger and Assembly Member Alex Borres, both of whom have been very supportive of the children in the Knickerbocker Greys. It essentially authorizes legacy cadet corps programs such as the Knickerbocker Greys to have the space in the Park Avenue Armory and access to it. So it's very supportive for us. And we're asking anyone in New York State, not just New York City, to look at the Knickerbocker Greys LinkedIn page, which allows you to click a link and send a note to your representative in Albany supporting this bill. So we've received support there. I should also say that about a year ago to the day, Community Board 8, we had tremendous support and the largest turnout that anyone can remember from a Community Board 8 hearing. And they did a non-binding resolution saying that the Knickerbocker Greys should return into the Armory. So that's community support at the local level and as well as up in the state.
All right. Well, we will be following developments, and we thank you so much, sir, for your service and for being with us here on Newsline. Retired Army Colonel Tom Pike, as we say, a cadet with the Knickerbocker Greys, which, by the way, they say they are the oldest after-school program, too, in the U.S., serving kids ages 6 to 16. One other quick note, we will be reaching out to the Conservancy that runs the Armory to get an update on that. In the meantime, at 10:40.